Hey guys, welcome back to another FitHealth Pros video. This is Nutrition 101. We're talking about facts about carbs. I'm Dr. Kevin.
I'm Coach Sean.
We're the FitHealth Pros, and we're going to get into carbohydrates today. So what we know about carbohydrates: macronutrient, major energy producer for the body. So that's a major deal.
Yes.
We're always hearing it in the news. Oh man, should we do this low-calorie diet, this low-carb diet? Is it bad for you to have too many carbs? Is it better for you? Are you more healthy if you have less carbs? Well, here's the facts. So that's what we want to give you.
All right. So we're gonna start with just the facts, ma'am. Carbs are biomolecules which are comprised of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. They're very similar in structure to water. They break down into glucose, which is the energy source for the body. So either immediate or stored in the liver and or muscles. Now they're not produced by the human body, so we have to bring them in through nutrition alone. Like with proteins, you know, enzymes are actually proteins, so that the body's churning those out. So when it comes to carbohydrates, not produced by the human body. The main carbohydrates are sugars, starches, and fibers. So those are the three to remember.
All right. Facts, facts, facts. So here's the sources. We have some complex carbohydrates. We'll give you some examples here. So wheat pasta is an example. Whole grain cereals, oatmeal, brown rice, wheat bread. So that whole wheat bread. I was lucky enough to grow up having a wheat grinder. So
oh, fresh
bread.
Fresh whole wheat bread.
Fresh whole wheat bread.
Wow.
All right, so the next source of these carbohydrates is going to be the fiber sources. Mm-hmm. Okay, we can think kind of fresh vegetables, your green leafy vegetables, cucumbers, squash, carrots, tomatoes, broccoli. You can kind of see where we're going. If you mash this up or if you grind them up, you can see how fibrous that is.
Yep.
Okay, so picture that. The next one is kind of what we're all familiar with, is the simple sugars. So milk is a simple sugar, has simple carbohydrates. Apples, it's another example. Mm-hmm. Sweet potatoes, I know that they're saying that the sweet potato is a little less glycemic.
Yeah, it's low on the glycemic index for sure.
But it's still a simple carbohydrate.
Mm-hmm.
Berries, and then the bad guy, right?
Dun.
Processed sugars.
Yeah.
So
bad news.
If you want to know more about the processed sugars, we did 2 videos on sugars bad,
sugars good.
good. We did not say what our opinion was. We just
we tried not to.
Yeah, well, we tried not to. But that's a good one. Go
Maybe
back to there. Maybe I'll put a tag on that one. More info for you. Mm-hmm. So carbohydrates are 3 to 4 calories per gram. So when you look at how many grams you're taking in a plate or through the day, it's on the lower end. So this one's interesting. I did not know this, but no natural foods have 0 carbs.
Right.
All right?
Right.
So if you're doing a 0 carb diet, or if you have I'm thinking like a frozen food package.
Right.
0 carbs.
0 carbs.
Or a protein powder. 0 carbs.
You know how much processing has to be done to that food to get it to 0 carbs? A lot.
Yeah. So try not to eat anything that says 0 carbs. That would probably be wise. Foods that are high in simple carbs, so processed sugars, back to the processed sugars.
Yeah.
What's it going to do? Well, that instigates weight gain and it can cause health disorders. So I think that's pretty widely known. Unfortunately, processed sugars are in everything. The high glycemic carbs, they can be addictive. If you go back, we had another video, well, that was about the sugars. Back to that sugar video, and if you picture that one, there's a newsreel out there that has the brain CT scan, and it has the red light activation in the brain, where if you're on cocaine, it's lit up.
Same the endorphin center.
Right, and that lights up the same way with these high glycemic simple sugars.
Wow.
All right, crazy.
That's nuts. So, oh, and also lights up the same area of the brain that gambling does as well. So it's highly addictive in equates in different ways. I mean, it's pretty nuts.
Right.
So on to the next. Somebody say facts? Yes, we did. We're going to get into the brain a little bit because this kind of, when a certain macro is demonized, like carbs have been, we got to touch on the good stuff. It's not all bad stuff. And generally when they're talking about bad stuff, they're talking about the simple sugars. When we're talking about the good stuff, we're talking about how the body utilizes the carbohydrates. The brain uses up to 60% of blood glucose. It's the only carb-dependent organ in the body. So carbohydrates actually fuel cognition. You're going to get the brain fog if you start lowering your carbs or you're cutting these carbs out. So low carbs and an active lifestyle, again, here it is, brain fog, muscle fatigue, low energy. It takes the brain 3 weeks to adapt to an alternative fuel source. So when you have a nutritional plan that cuts carbs, well, guess what? It's going to take a while for the brain to be able to tell the body, hey, this is okay. We're ready to work with this new fuel source coming in. So be very careful and be cognizant that when cravings come in and when the really tough parts of dieting come in, it's the brain telling you, I want my carbs, I need my carbs.
Right.
Okay? This is a little more well-known fact here, that carb loading before athletic events have been proven to help performance. Been doing this as athletes for years and years, decades and decades. This is because the carbs are the only fuel source that are metabolized fast enough to keep up with physical exertion. So you're ready for that race, you've been loading beforehand, and your time is going to be a little bit faster. Your push is going to be a little bit stronger. So carbs, again, important.
And that starts you out kind of at that level there.
Right.
If you're doing a very long endurance, you see the gels and people having a banana.
Right.
or
It's
something
a
like that.
quick carb that you get into your system so that you can maintain your pace over time in some of the longer races especially.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
More facts, please. Someone said more facts, please.
Yes,
Yes, we
please.
did.
Okay.
So here's some more facts. Regions in the world that have a starchy vegetable and grains that are prevalent in the diet, what do they see? An increase in longevity.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool. That's I think that's another well-known. I don't know. Look that up.
Well,
That's,
it's become more well known that the Mediterranean diet is a very good diet for the human body in terms of reparation and longevity.
absolutely. So another thing is initial weight loss. So if you're thinking about, oh, I got to cut these carbs for my weight loss, the initial weight loss from a low carb diet is primarily water weight. And I have a electronic scale that through impedance measures water weight.
Water weight.
And guess what we see every time? Water weight comes off. And maybe some muscle, which isn't good.
Right.
But water weight.
Not the fat that you're trying
Yeah,
to get off.
not the fat.
That's the problem.
Right. And that release of glycogen stores takes a lot of fluid.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucks that out of the body. That's why it does that. So that's part of that's very factual.
That's the deal.
Slow burning carbs like a oatmeal,
Yes.
something more whole wheat, the brown
Whole
rices,
grain.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's a great immune booster. So I think that probably will go back to the regions in the world where they have these things.
A little bit more starchy.
yeah,
And
and
it's a healthy starch that they're eating.
Right.
You know?
And it's funny, it could be a poor area, but they don't have access
To process
to
foods.
processed foods. So keep that in mind. I think it's important. I think it's a cool statistic and a cool fact.
Ding, ding,
Yes.
ding. So that basically is Nutrition 101, facts about carbs. Carbs are important, and we love carbs. And you can do too many of them, of course, but you can also do too few of them too. And both will affect the bodily functions.
Right.
So that is Nutrition 101, facts about carbs. We are the Fit Health Pros. I am Coach Sean.
I'm Dr. Kevin.
And please like this video and subscribe.
Ding, ding, ding.
You know, and ring the bell.
Yes.
To get to know when our next video is coming out. We put out a lot of content. If you have any questions, if you have any recommendations for future videos, we are all ears.
Give it to us.
Please, because again, we're content monsters, we're research monsters, we want to know more, and we have a lot of information that we already know that we want to give to you. So again, Fit Health Bros here, thank you for coming along for the ride.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yes. I can see.
Okay. Hi there. Sean, you ready?
I think I'm ready. Are you ready?
Are you ready?